Now, the main threats with these are very heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and strong winds. We've got about 60-mile-an-hour winds with this. The latest warning that was issued is this one right here that includes the southwest part of the perimeter, and that moves down into parts of South Fulton County, including parts of Fayette County, Clayton County, and also the northern parts of Coweta County. This storm has very heavy rain with it, winds of around 60 miles an hour. We have some hail with it too. I just got a report from one of our storm trackers, Diane, reported in northern Coweta County, quarter-size hail falling there right now. This is the latest warning that we have. It is moving up toward the north and east, toward the Atlanta area. We'll get a closer look at that one in just a second. I'll also want to take you down here on the south side because this warning that we have in effect right now, coming from Upson County into parts of Lamar County, pushing over into Butts County, is a severe thunderstorm warning where the National Weather Service is noticing a little bit of rotation with it, and they have issued a severe thunderstorm warning, and within that saying a tornado is possible, but the rotation is not tight enough right now for them to issue a actual tornado warning with it. But you can see from our velocity here, the green and reds coming together, this is really a broad rotation. It would have to be a little tighter for the Weather Service to actually issue a tornado warning with it. So as of right now, this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lamar, Monroe, and Upson County until 9:15. That'll be in just a few minutes. That will be expiring here. But within that warning, they are saying, you know, it is possible that we could see a tornado developing out of that. This is also moving up toward the north and to the east. Very heavy rain with it, and plenty, excuse me, plenty of thunder and lightning in association with that as well. Now let's go back up toward the north and also to the west. There are some additional warnings that we have. So we talked about this one a moment ago. We have this one right closer to the Alabama line. This is including parts of Heard County, moving on up toward the north here and into parts of Coweta County, where we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:30. This one also has mainly 60-mile-an-hour winds with it. Okay, so there's actually two here. One for Coweta, Heard, and Troop. That's this one right here. And then there's also this one for the rest of Coweta County and parts of Fayette County. That's in effect until 9:30. So 2 warnings down there, and parts of those kind of overlap over Coweta County. Coweta County is included in 2 of those warnings here. So we have those that we're watching, and check out this, back over the line into Alabama, additional storms are going to be rolling through. And what's happening is these storms are moving in over the same areas that already had a lot of rain this morning. We have the potential for some flooding in some spots too. So as you can see, north of I-20, not a lot going on right now. And you may be watching us on our OTT channels. I also have a feed going on Facebook Live right now. And you might be saying, what's the deal with these storms? Well, they're pretty much I-20 southward, but they're beginning to move north of I-20, especially these over on the east side, over toward Athens. There's another severe thunderstorm warning along I-20 here, well to the south of Athens. That's really closer to Morgan County, also into Greene County. This severe thunderstorm warning, again, 60-mile-an-hour winds, very heavy rain in association with those storms moving up toward the north and the east too. So within this atmosphere that we have, we've got a stalled out front that is near us and pretty much right along this boundary. And on that boundary, that's where we're seeing these storms that are firing up out there right now. I want to take you live to our tower cam. This is in Coweta County right now, and you can see what we're watching here on Remote 58, these storms that are, as they move on through. This is in Coweta County in Noonan. We have been seeing some pretty good flashes of lightning on this tower cam. Of course, right when we take it, the lightning stops, but we've been seeing it flashing here with the lightning. Some of the rain that's moving through Coweta County, you can see some of that lightning there from the distance right now from these storms that are rolling through. There you see some of that lightning with that now. And again, we had a report from one of our storm trackers, Diana says that there are some hail in parts of northern Coweta County to about quarter-size hail. So these storms are capable of producing that heavy rain, and thunder and lightning with it, a lot of lightning with these storms here, as well as we'll watch some areas of potential rotation with this, as we do have a chance for a few of those stronger storms that could produce some of that rotation. But again, no tornado warnings in effect, just multiple severe thunderstorm warnings here for our area. A meteorologist, Nicole Hartford, joins us right now as well. And Nicole, you have been watching this throughout the afternoon as these storms have been developing. We're seeing some changes within what we call the convective outlook, what we're seeing behind you, showing the risk levels, as well as the severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for a big part of Metro Atlanta and on the south side.
Yeah, we have a number of watches that are currently in effect across North Georgia. We are included in that convective outlook. The newest convective outlook that did come out does have portions of our far southern counties included in that level 3 risk. With that, it's mainly storms that produce the damaging winds, the hail, the heavy rain. Our tornado threat is low, but it's not zero. And the National Weather Service has actually issued a tornado watch. This is mainly across Alabama, so it does include Cleburne as well as Randolph counties in Alabama. This goes until 1 Central Time that we will have that tornado watch in effect. Also in effect until 1 o'clock in the morning is that severe thunderstorm watch, and that does include Metro Atlanta as well as a large portion of really central and then into portions of North Georgia. So that severe thunderstorm watch is a similar scenario to what is already ongoing right now. It's the storms that produce the gusty winds as well as the heavy rainfall and the hail. A lot of what we've been seeing is the gusty winds as well as the hail so far when it comes to these storms. This is just getting started as well. We've got a number of storms still off towards the west that are developing and pushing eastward. So this is going to be something we're watching into the overnight as well as early tomorrow morning. In addition to the threat for severe weather, there's also a flood watch in effect. We've already accumulated in some spots 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, and additional heavy rain will lead to some minor flooding. So this flood watch is mainly south of the Atlanta area and then off towards the east, with additional rainfall of 2 to 4 inches possible, which could lead to swelling of streams as well as creeks and then pooling on roadways when it comes to the rainfall falling there. So if you're going to be out on the roads tonight or early tomorrow morning, especially while it's dark outside, you need to be very cautious of that potential for some flooding on the roadways. Chris, do we want to go back to radar, or would you like to?
Yeah, let's go back back and look at that. I want to look at the hail product too, because we are seeing some pretty impressive reports from our National Weather Service chat indicating where we are seeing some of that hail moving through here, and some of that is looking impressive. This is around Union City right now. So here is Atlanta. This is the south end of the perimeter. Hartsfield-Jackson is right here, and we'll be watching this hail core right now. We're querying this, showing golf ball size hail, and we are getting some verification. Again, this is a Doppler radar indicated measure of the hail that we have there, but we're getting some verification from some of our storm trackers as well as some ham radio operators that are reporting to our National Weather Service chat, showing many areas they're picking up that. And especially a few minutes ago, they were saying some intense hail, penny to quarter size, and even some spots larger around Tyrone. Now this is north of Tyrone, pretty much pushing up into South Fulton County. This is again the south end of the perimeter. The airport's here. Let's take a live look right now at the airport, remote 32. Yeah, you can see that rain that's coming down right now. We do not, I'm sure that airport operations are, of course, going to be watching that hail core very closely with these storms that are moving up toward the north and east closer to the airport. We'll go back to that camera a little bit later as those storms continue to move up toward the north and to the east. Let's see if any of those other cells back on the hail, just see if any of those other cells, so we don't see any there. A little bit, these would be some maybe pea to marble size hail north of Greensboro. That's north of the north end of Lake Lanier. We'll say marble size hail there north of Greensboro. So Greene County also has a severe thunderstorm warning there with some pea size to maybe even marble size hail moving up toward the north and east as well. I don't think those other severe thunderstorm warnings that we had over to the east actually had any additional hail with them as well. So right now, the main warnings that we have, the time right now, Nicole, can you see the time? I don't see the clock here. 9:19. So a couple of those warnings expired at 9:15. So now we still have this one for parts of Troup County into Coweta County, and then northern Coweta County into South Fulton, also parts of Clayton County and Fayette County. One of them expires at 9:30. Both of them expire now at 9:30. So these warnings that we have right now there, and also this one that we showed you a few minutes ago closer to Lake Oconee, north of Lake Oconee, that will expire around 9:30 as well. So these are the main warnings that we have right now. They didn't really say anything more, Nicole, did they, about that one down south of Locust Grove that had the tour possible? That one expired.
No, it looked like it had a couple really tight rotation scans, but it was just a couple scans and then it started to weaken. So they didn't say they had any inclination that they were going to issue any type of tornado.
Okay, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign that they're not issuing a new warning downstream as it moves up toward the north and east. But still, strong stuff that we're watching there on the south side, moving through Milner. That's coming again from Upson County through Lamar County. That'll be pushing into parts of Butts County. We've got a lot of heavy rain and thunder and lightning with that. And go ahead and, while we're here, let's look at velocity for that, because that's where we were watching that potential rotation. Yeah, so nothing looks really out of the ordinary there. Maybe some broad stuff, but that's a good sign, because earlier as we first started here with you, we were talking about how they were issuing a severe thunderstorm warning, but saying tornado possible. Again, I explained that the rotation wasn't tight enough for it to be a tornado warning, but just talking about at any time it could tighten up and there could be a tornado developing. But good news is they allowed that warning to expire. So that's a good scene there. So here's this wave of rain that continues moving our way. Now this is bearing down on the city of Atlanta right now, coming up from the south. I want you all to be prepared, really, along I-20 and south of I-20. That's where it's more active now. These storms now crossing over north of I-20, especially these storms over on the west side here, from Carroll County into Haralson County, Polk County, moving into Paulding County. South Cobb, you're beginning to see some of that action there too. These storms are strong. Let's get in a little bit tighter to this one right here. These coming into Atlanta. This has prompted that severe thunderstorm warning. We had the hail with it. This is about to move in inside the southwestern part of the perimeter. John, put up that camera you were talking about, the lightning here. This is our tower cam right on top of the station on our tower here in Midtown as we are looking down on the city of Atlanta. And you can see here that lightning that is flashing. So this is looking south toward that heavy rain and the thunder and lightning. This camera is going to get more active here in just a few minutes as these storms continue to push our way. Let's look at while we're here, let's go to remote 32 and look at the airport too, because I'm assuming now we're going to see more action at the airport. It's going to be heavier rain. You're going to be seeing some flashes of lightning there at the airport as well. You can see the raindrops kind of hitting the lens there, diffusing that light a little bit. So it's getting a lot heavier right now at Hartsfield-Jackson. We're also going to be monitoring whether or not the airport is going to issue a ground stop or if they are having any delays with that. I wouldn't be surprised with the intensity of this storm that's coming in over the airport that they would most likely have a ground stop. We'll keep watching for that and let you know if that in case is going to be happening here. So again, this is closing in on the city of Atlanta, where we're going to see very heavy rain, thunder, and lightning with that core right here from Fairburn pushing up into Forest Park. So again, this includes the northern parts of Fayette County, northern parts of Clayton County, South Fulton County, where we have the severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in effect until about 9:30. Right now it's 9:23, and we see those storms that are here on the south side pushing into the Atlanta area. Also, these storms over to the east of us, and we're going to do a lightning count. We're actually going to see what's happening here. Were you doing a lightning count there, Nicole? Yes. There we go. 92 lightning strikes. Actually looked like, thought it would be a little higher than that, but that is a cluster of a lot of lightning. 92 lightning strikes here just in the past 15 minutes with those storms to the south and west of the city of Atlanta. And this is going to be pushing over the city. This is again on the south side, south of I-20 inside the perimeter, covering up the airport, Forest Park, moving up toward the north and east, about to cross over I-20 here in the downtown area. Things are about to get a lot more active here over the next few minutes in the Atlanta area. And then also additional showers and storms over on the east side are also about to move north of I-20. These already have that. We showed you that warning in parts of Greene County and into Oglethorpe County between Athens and Eatonton along I-20. These are strong to the east or to the west of Eatonton for parts of Jasper County down into Butts County. We do not have a new warning in association with those. We'll keep an eye on them though, because they could ramp up and we could see another severe thunderstorm warning issued with that just in any moment. Nicole, I'm hearing the beeps going off there. Do you have any new information coming in from chat?
No, they have not issued any new information.
All right, so we'll be watching these hail cores with that. Also the wind that we're seeing with these storms, and also that very heavy rain coming down with that, and the thunder and lightning. Let's widen out just to give everybody a perspective of what we've got going on. Again, North Georgia, not a lot right now. These storms have mainly been on the south side. They are pushing up toward the north, crossing I-20, about to move up to the north side now. And then look back into Alabama. This is very active here from Birmingham to Montgomery, also to the west of the Birmingham and Montgomery areas too, with plenty of very heavy rain and also that thunder and lightning in association with that. Nicole, I'm going to pitch it back to you, and you can show again that convective outlook where there is that level 3 risk for severe storms, and some of that does extend into West Georgia, and then there's a level 4 risk for parts of Alabama too, right?
Yes, so they just updated this convective outlook probably about 20 minutes ago, and now portions of our area, the far southern counties, are included in that level 3 risk. So the more prominent severe weather threat throughout much of the day today, where we've had that level 3, the enhanced, and then the level 4, which is that moderate red area, has been over portions of Mississippi and Alabama. And that's still where the most prominent severe weather threat is, and certainly the most prominent tornado threat. But in the most updated convective outlook that the Storm Prediction Center has just put out, we're now included at least portions of our area down towards Troup and Meriwether County into that level 3 risk for severe weather. Otherwise, not much has changed from the convective outlook that they did put out earlier today across our area. So the Atlanta Metro is still in the lower level 1 risk, and then that slight level 2 risk extends mainly south of I-20 down towards our southern counties. In any of these locations and that are included in that severe risk, so level 1, level 2, or level 3, that's where we have the risk for some storms that could produce those gusty, potentially damaging winds. A lot of the storms we've had so far have mainly been producing winds that are up to severe criteria, so about 60 miles per hour. And we've also seen some of those large hailstones up to marble sized, or even some of those reports of golf ball sized hail. Our tornado threat remains low, but we could see isolated spin up tornadoes. So we're going to be monitoring this into the rest of the evening as well as overnight, with that risk for severe weather, tornadoes, thunderstorms, as well as the threat for some flooding as well. So we'll get back to the radar real quick, but here's our tornado watch that is currently in effect until 1 o'clock in the morning. That's for Cleburne as well as Randolph counties. And then that severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for the Atlanta metro area, as well as a good chunk of the surrounding areas, and then down towards our south as well. So here's our current radar, Chris, if we want to go back to looking at that.
Yeah, we'll check that out too. And it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see if, with that tornado, actually that severe thunderstorm watch that you were talking about, that includes Metro Atlanta, if they're going to extend that over more to the east tonight as these storms move through, or if we'll see any weakening. Right now, we're not really seeing much weakening as these move over toward the north and to the east. But again, the good news is we do not have any tornado warnings right now, but we do have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. And we've been telling you here about those storms about to push in to the Atlanta area. Let's take another look at the airport, where we do have that heavier rain coming in right now. I'm going to step out of the shot for just a second. I want to check one thing really quick and see if we are getting any delays. You haven't seen any delays yet, Nicole, have you?
I haven't seen any reports from the airport yet.
Okay. I'm trying to see here really quick to see if we have any delays. I would not be surprised with this as you're looking live now at Hartsfield-Jackson. Yeah, they're not reporting any delays there right now, but I wouldn't be surprised because of the intensity of the storm. Just look at that very heavy rain and thunder and lightning. I would bet at any minute now we may see some delays coming up, and whether or not they're going to issue a ground stop at Hartsfield-Jackson, because just look at that. That's what all that lightning, heavy rain coming down right now. The raindrops just pounding the lens of our camera, making those lights there on the runways and taxiways looking a little more diffused at this hour right now, as those storms are the heaviest on the south side right now. Let's go back to radar. This is what we're watching. And Nicole, drop lightning there just for a second, because I just want to get a good look at this reflectivity here. So without the lightning on there, and this is a really heavy rain here on the south side. We were just showing you the airport, which is right about here. There on the south end of the perimeter, as you on that bottom end of 285 and 75 and 85 right here, as it goes down south of the city down toward Noonan. But that is just a really heavy, on reflectivity, this is a really heavy cluster of showers of heavy rain that's pushing through. Heaviest part is right up here at Forest Park. So again, the airport right here, just north of that, southwest of the city, is where we have the heaviest rain coming down. Now, it's interesting to see these precipitation rates. This is, if it rained at this rate constantly for an hour, it would be about 4 inches of rain. That's the rate. It's not saying you're getting 4 inches right this second, but this is just the rate that we have right now of those storms that are over on the south side. Very heavy rain coming through right now. That's moving up toward the north and east. Really, that heaviest core that we see right there, Nicole, I thought you were about to say something. That heaviest core right there is going to move right over the downtown connector and I-20 here, and really right over the heart of the city is where that heaviest rain is going to be moving in. So downtown Atlanta, heavy rain coming in, plenty of thunder and lightning. This is moving to the north and east. That would push in. We already have some heavy rain here in DeKalb County. They're on the east side of the perimeter. It's about to get really heavy for you as well. Moving up here toward the north and also to the east here, closing in on the city of Atlanta. And then things are a little lighter now at Tyrone, where we had some big hail a little bit earlier in the northern parts of Fayette County. There's a new warning that just popped up here, severe thunderstorm warning. Is that new, or did you just pop it up?
It is new. They just reissued it because the other one expired, and they did add a considerable thunderstorm damage threat tag to it.
All right, so that's another interesting thing. This is a new thing that the National Weather Service is doing, is that they'll issue a severe thunderstorm warning or even a tornado warning, and sometimes they'll add tags to it. And with this one, they are tagging it saying considerable damage is possible. That was the right tag, right? Considerable. They also can say,
it's saying radar indicated winds up to about 60 miles per hour and then hail up to about 1.75 inches.
All right, so that's some large hail. 60-mile-an-hour winds possible with that, as well as wind of hail 1 inch to 1.75 inches in diameter in that size there, coming into the city. Let's look at the hail product with it too. And Nicole's doing a great job. She's very multitasking big time over there in the Weather Center, driving radar for me. So this is a look at that hail core that we're talking about right now, and this could cause damage. Heavy rain, again, golf ball size hail is the estimates that we're seeing between College Park and East Point. So there is the airport right here. You can see the runways and taxiways. Let's go back to that tower cam, remote 32, and still really heavy rain coming down right now. Of course, it's too dark that we can't. Well, that looked like a plane was moving there along. Yeah, okay, it's kind of hard to tell there with low visibility, but our director, John, just mentioned he was watching that as well. A plane that was moving there along the runway and taxiway. So there is some movement right now at Hartsfield-Jackson, but that's very heavy rain. You see the lightning that is coming down as well with these storms. So very active day, an active night there at Hartsfield-Jackson with the heavy rain coming through. And again, we'll be watching for if they post any delays, weather-related delays here from the Hartsfield-Jackson. But heaviest rain continuing to move through there. And then the strongest part of that is now just a little bit to the north of the city. Let's go back to radar. This is zoomed in really tight, where we have this new severe thunderstorm warning in effect until about 10 o'clock tonight is when this is going to expire, where we have this band of very heavy rain moving through over the city of Atlanta, continuing to move up toward the north and to the east, and that includes central Fulton County, parts of South Fulton County. We have the northern parts of Clayton County included in this, as well as a big part of DeKalb County, and then that looks like it extends right over into parts of Gwinnett County too. I'm seeing the county line right here. Actually, the county line is near this area here. So, do you know, does it include parts of Gwinnett?
No. Clayton, okay. DeKalb, and Fulton.
Clayton, DeKalb, and Fulton. So it stops right at the Gwinnett County line. There's the Gwinnett County line right here. Yes. So it stops right before the Gwinnett County line. So the Gwinnett County is not included in that. But if this holds together, Gwinnett County most likely will. Let's go to remote 56. I want to show that tower cam here over the city of Atlanta. This is our Midtown tower cam. Wow, look at that. Our Midtown, it looks like it just locked up here in the middle of that lightning strike. Let's hold on to this for just a second to see if we get back live. There we go. So we're kind of seeing some, there we go, with that camera. I mentioned a few minutes ago, and we saw this a few minutes ago, how it was going to get more intense as the storms come from the south. We're looking to the south right now at the tower cam, looking down from Midtown to the city of Atlanta, and you can see all of the intense lightning with that. Heavy rain is going to be next out of this. We already have some rain coming in here in Midtown, coming into the downtown area, but it is about to get a lot heavier right now, excuse me, as the storm, the strongest part of that storm moves in. And we're going to go back to that camera, and really I think in just a few minutes, because our camera is located right about here. Right north of the split. Here's the split of the connector, 75 north and then 85 north right here. Our camera on our Midtown tower cam is right about there on 85 here, right north of the split. So, and I just heard on the roof that really heavy rain is starting to come down right now. So as we go back, let's go ahead and look at that. And I know it's hard to see in the dark the differences there, but we've got the lightning and very heavy rain coming down here too. I feel like this camera may be freezing up a little bit on us. It's getting so much lightning data coming in. See, look at all that, those flashes of lightning right now. I feel like it's maybe freezing up on us just a little bit as it's getting all of that lightning, and then the heavy rain is coming in too. So we'll go back to that in just a second, as I'm sure that rain that's going to be so heavy here is going to be kind of affecting our visibility and making it hard most likely to even see those downtown buildings, as this is all over us right now. About 82 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes just inside this red box, not over the entire area. It's just inside that red box. We've got about 82 lightning strikes. That includes that main core over the city of Atlanta, stretching down into the southern parts of Fulton County, also over into DeKalb County. Things are getting a lot more active in DeKalb County right now with a moderate to heavy rain. Lightning move into your area. Northern parts of Henry County, north of Stockbridge, you're seeing a good cluster of heavy rain, thunder, and lightning. Pushing into the southern parts of DeKalb County. So really active here right over the heart of the city and over a big part of the metro Atlanta area at this time. Let's widen out. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, we're widening out just a little bit to see these other warnings. So the other ones on the south side expired. We do have this one still over on the east side where we've got that severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Greene County and Oglethorpe County. So here's Athens. We're talking, this is east of Athens near the Woodville area, north of Crawfordville. That's moving over toward Enterprise, Georgia, and eventually into Tignall. Very heavy rain, thunder, and lightning there. That warning is going to expire also at 10 o'clock. So that's extended just a little bit for Greene and Oglethorpe counties. Again, that's mainly to the east and also to the south of Athens. Now, let's go back here closer to the city. And that's the only other warning we have is the one over Metro Atlanta right now. I think, Nicole, right? Yeah, that's the only other warning that we have, but it's right on top of us here. Let's go back to our tower cam here in Midtown, remote 56, and that will show you what we're watching. Okay, yeah, that's what I said a minute ago. Remember a few minutes ago, we were looking down and we could see the city skyline, and I was anticipating that once this rain came in, not only would we see the lightning, but we may not see those city lights anymore. That's because the visibility is greatly reduced because of the heavy rain rolling through our area right now, and we can't even see the downtown skyline anymore just because that rain is so heavy. That has reduced our visibility now, and plenty of thunder and lightning. So this is the heaviest part of this right now that is moving through over the city of Atlanta. Very intense storms rolling through, and you can see some of those individual raindrops at times closer to the camera. Let's go back to remote 32 and check out the airport as well, because things should have, well, still pretty heavy there. Not as heavy as it was a few minutes ago, but still wet runways, taxiways. You can see those raindrops that are hitting the lens. Also, some of the thunder and lightning too. Back to radar, we've got the hail product up so you can see what we're watching here at East Point. This is that hail. So here's the airport right here. We just showed you that. Just north of the airport, where we see around East Point towards Sylvan Hills, that core of hail. Earlier, our Doppler radar was estimating golf ball size hail. With that storm, still showing golf ball size hail with that storm from East Point, Sylvan Hills over toward Ben Hill. This is closing in on the city of Atlanta. Golf ball size hail would be large enough to potentially, maybe put some dings in your car. I'm sorry, what'd you say, John? Do we have Thunder Truck? Let's take Thunder Truck and we'll see where Thunder Truck is located right now. Thunder Truck just got out of, it was at the auto show this week. Right now, we have it on 7585, the downtown connector. Looks like they are going south into the city on the downtown connector right now. This is showing the very heavy rain. Looks like cars are slowing down. I see some, it looks like with their hazard lights, which really you're not supposed to do that, to turn your hazard lights on. You can see what that does when people are driving to your windshield. It kind of makes the raindrops, it makes it harder to see when you've got all the flashing lights in front of you. But other people say it helps people see me, but it is not something that is advised to do, to turn your hazards on. But a lot of people do that when you have some really heavy rain slowing down. This is right there at 85 meeting up to 75, right there where you take the exit at Atlantic Station is right over to your right. It's at that 17th Street, 14th Street, 10th Street exit. Then as you're curving around, you're about to join up with 75 coming out of Central Fulton, which came out of Cobb County. So there you see the Wells Fargo building right there at Atlantic Station on your right. That bridge is the 17th Street bridge that they're about to go under right now. So that gives you perspective of where that is moving into the heart of the downtown area, where we have all of the heavy rain that is moving through. And traffic's going really slow. They've got to slow down here with that heavy rain ponding on the roadways there too. And again, you see those flashes of lightning with that too. Very heavy rain, thunder, and lightning right over the city of Atlanta. More of this on the south side, south of I-20. Also on the west side, south of I-20. A lot of this crossing north of the city now. Cobb County getting some good rain right now. This is on the north side here and into parts of North Fulton from Cobb, East Cobb. All right, so there's 75 right here. So Marietta, you just had some heavy rain roll through. North Cobb, East Cobb, as it moves into North Fulton County, is getting some impressive, heavy rain, a little thunder and lightning crossing over toward Roswell. And this is that core over the city of Atlanta that'll keep moving up toward the north and east, pretty much riding up on the downtown connector. It'll pretty much go up 85. We're getting that really heavy rain right here at 11 Alive at our Midtown studios, pushing up to the north and east. So we'll wait and see if the National Weather Service is potentially going to extend this warning to the north and east to maybe include parts of Gwinnett County. And it depends on how the storm holds together, moving up toward the north and also to the east. Nicole Hartford monitoring chat right now. I know things, I don't know if we've got just these couple of warnings here. I'm not sure if they're giving you any updates on the ones that are existing right now.
No, they've been getting a lot of reports about the hail, a lot of golf ball sized hail for that storm that is currently moving through downtown Atlanta. But otherwise, they haven't given any indication as to whether or not they plan to either extend these warnings or issue new warnings. They did just put out a strong thunderstorm for Harris and Troup County. So Troup County is in our area down towards the south of Atlanta. That this storm is producing some gusty winds and some small hail as well. It's not quite up to severe criteria, which would be those 60-mile-per-hour winds or the quarter-sized hail, but it has been producing some gusty winds as well as some of that small hail as well. And at this point, all these storms are coming in mainly from the southwest and the south. And it's important to point out that there's still a lot of rain off towards Alabama that's going to be pushing across the state through the overnight hours as well. So this is really just getting started, Chris.
Yeah, and that's the concerning part, Nicole, because this heavy rain is moving in over areas that already picked up a lot of rain earlier today, where we have a lot of creeks and streams that are already swollen and up out of their banks in some spots. And now this additional rain isn't going to help out really either. We've got the flood watch in effect through 8 o'clock in the morning here. All of these counties that you see in green, that's where we have the potential for some flash flooding. Here on the south side, moving up north and east of the city toward Athens, over toward Washington, that line down to the south. 2 to 4 inches of additional rain is possible there. I'm hearing major rain on our roof. Let's go back to our tower cam here in Midtown, remote 56, which is showing here again that heavy rain. Now we can only see the lights pretty much close to the ground. No way we're even seeing those city lights in the distance. Very heavy rain. We have reports of pebble-sized hail over at Atlantic Station right now. So some hail in association with this as it's moving right over the city of Atlanta with that very heavy rain intensity moving through. Let's go back to radar because we do see our hail product right now where earlier, okay, so this is a good sign. We mentioned the smaller hail over at Atlantic Station. Remember just a few minutes ago when this, we're going to put this in motion. Look at this. Nicole's advancing this. We saw that part near East Point that had very large hail with it. Let's cycle through that one more time. As you go back here, you see the really intense hail and large hail as this comes inside the perimeter, moved over East Point, but then look now over the city of Atlanta. You see the blue colors disappearing, and now we have the gray colors indicating those smaller hail sizes here. Again, that would be mainly, as we mentioned, we have a report from from a storm tracker indicating pebble. Then we see marble-sized hail from our radar here, Doppler radar estimates of that hail size, pebble to marble-sized hail with those storms, again, right over the city of Atlanta. And again, they move up toward the north and east. We'll see if they're going to issue a new warning for parts of Gwinnett County and maybe including, let's go back to remote 56. This just looks crazy here. I'm seeing it there in the distance here. Okay. All right, we just ended our feed there on OTT. Really? I thought that we could go as long as we want. Okay. So, for those of you still on Facebook Live, thank you for, Tommy says not a good picture. I explained at the beginning that this was a behind the scenes